Well, welcome everybody to Ignite Humanity Live. I'm your host, Lady JB, and I'm here today to share with you some fabulous ways that you can step into your ideas about how to ignite humanity. I hope wherever you are in the world, it is beautiful and loving and caring, and you are filled with inspiration and motivation to step into ways that you can ignite humanity. Now, we are all over the globe with our amazing show, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the power of igniting humanity. We've had lots of people reaching out to us since we aired about, wow, thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the ideas. Thanks for the suggestions. And that's what we're all about. We want you to know that each and every person on the planet can ignite humanity in the smallest of ways. And those ways ripple and grow and expand. There's a saying that a butterfly flapping its wings in Rio de Janeiro can cause a hurricane in Hawaii. Just that movement, that vibration, that pushing through the force creates something momentous on the other side. And so if you're making small gestures in your life, just know that they are expanding and quantifying into big gestures throughout humanity. And so little ways that you can make a difference. We're talking about that today. It's Thursday. And so that's all about solutions. We're going to be sharing with you solutions and neat and unique things that you can do at home. Just little things. They don't cost any money, but they're powerful ways that you can ignite humanity. And it is really important that we all be thinking about ways for us to make a difference. Now more than ever, with life the way it is, people are facing challenges. And that means that each and every one of us need to come together. We need to support one another and create camaraderie. We need to look beyond our differences and create unity. And we need to help our fellow man and woman and child and the animals and the planet. We need to be making a huge difference in a positive trajectory. And so this show is all about ways that you can make a difference and ways that you can do something small that grows into a grand impact because of the ripple effect. Now, one of the ways that I am so connected to igniting humanity is through special, authentic, heartfelt stories. We all have a story. Each and every one of us has a story, and I call them ignite moments. They're those special moments that spark something inside of you. They awaken you. They open up your mind to something completely different. Now, what's so unique about an ignite moment is when you share it with somebody, you really connect with them on a deeper level. And that's the power of storytelling. We have, in fact, been telling stories since the beginning of time around the campfire. And think back to all the days before we had social media or we had technology. The elders, the wisdom makers in the community, in the villages, in the homes and in the families were telling stories that would create information, stories that would bring value, stories that would create traditions and keep families together. And so stories have always been something very, very powerful. Now, I have a great storyteller coming on as our guest today. You're going to meet her just right away. But before that, I want to share with you, if you're just showing up for the first time, we want to welcome you. I'm so happy to have you. And if you want to know what we're doing and what we've been up to, you can check us out on our website at ignitehumanity.life and see all the fun ways that we're taking Ignite Moments to the next level. We're doing a movie, we're doing a book, we are inspiring people through episodes, and we're right here live every single day, Monday through Friday, talking about ways to ignite humanity. And one of the ways we are super committed is through our schools. We are donating and inspiring and helping others to build schools around the globe. And of course, we're asking for your donations because every single dollar you help donate buys a brick for one of our schools. And so it's a very easy and wonderful way for you to make a huge impact with just $1 and supporting our schools. So go to ignitehumanity.life/donate. Now, as we get further into the show, we're going to be talking about more solutions. But before we do that, I really want to take a moment to welcome our guest. Now, this is a beautiful woman that I have had the joy to spend some time with. She is a storyteller through film. In fact, she is an award-winning female director, and she is doing something really special as she is igniting humanity through storytelling in the big screen. I'm so blessed and happy to welcome her, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Melinda Boyer. Welcome, welcome. So happy to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lady JB, for having me on your show. That's such a blessing.
Well, it means a lot to me to have you on the show because we have been dancing and dazzling together, and I love hanging out with amazing people. And I just want to say thank you because Melinda has made a beautiful movie with her and her husband and many other cast members talking about something that is very similar to Igniting Humanity and Ignite Moments, but it's talking about beyond limitations. And I know about this very personally because I've been so fortunate enough to be featured in Melinda's movie Beyond Limitations, because some of you may or may not know, I cycled across Canada with my husband on our tandem bicycle. And I have also cycled to Alaska, cycled to the Parliament buildings. And some of you don't know my age, but cycling across Canada, 10,000 kilometers was a big feat, going beyond limitations. And so it's a big segue, Melinda. I had to get it all out. Lots of fun things happening with Beyond Limitations. But let's just talk about those two words. Beyond limitations. What does that mean to you? Why did that become an idea and a way for you to ignite humanity?
Well, when Don came up with this idea, I was so excited because we have always, or I have always gone beyond my limitations in everything I've ever done, right? Um, just don't tell me I can't do something because I'll prove to you I can, right? At the age of 17, my friends had told me one time, I dare you to drive your car on the sidewalk. Well, knowing that you're not supposed to, right? I did.
Of course.
Right. Don't tell me I can't do it because I will do it, right? So I've always kind of been that kind of child, I'm an only child, my mom was really hard on me, never understood why. But she always told me, you always have to think bigger, think that you can do anything. And I know you can do everything. You're just stifling yourself. So I was kind of this real timid child, just kind of afraid to do anything and not really knowing if I should. And the things that I did do, I probably shouldn't have been doing, right? So at the age of 18, I ended up getting married and didn't really think, right, about what I really wanted. You're at that age where you just kind of say, I guess you get married, I guess you have some kids, and not really having a direction, right? But at the age of 30, I ended up started really thinking, like that mindset came in, right? Like there is more to life than just having children, right? And I think as a woman, and one of the things that I love so much about helping women is that we all get stuck in self, right? We all get stuck in everyday challenges of washing clothes and cleaning the bathrooms and cleaning the house and taking care of the kids and taking them here, taking them there. And that's all I ever did, right? About the age of 30. And then I realized, gosh, I really want to do more. I really want to figure out what does Melinda want? Who am I?
And was there like something that sparked that I really want to do more? I mean, this is what I find fascinating with people is, was there something that happened in your life that said, I want to do more?
That's a very good question because I ended up going to work for a company, a finance company, and my ex-husband at the time was electrocuted.
Oh.
Yeah. And the doctor said it was a miracle he didn't die because there's a certain pulse that comes out of the heart. So the electricity came out of his arm. And that was an aha moment for me because I realized if I ever lost my husband, what would I do?
Right.
What would I do? I don't even know anything. I don't even know who I am, for that God's sake, right? So it really made me realize, gosh, I need to figure out who I am, what I want. And my mom at the time told me, stop being so selfish. And I thought to myself, I said, well, am I really being selfish or am I really figuring out who I am? Because I think that in life, we need to really realize who we are as an individual, right? And I realized at the time that there was so many people that were working in this company that I was working for who had been there for 10 years or more, and they're still stuck in the same position. And I thought, why are you guys still stuck in the same position? And I asked somebody that, who was a good friend of mine, I says, why are you still in customer service? Why are you not working like at the 11th floor or learning?
Right.
I mean, give you free college here, right? So she says, I'm just comfortable. So I thought, okay, there's two different types of people, I think, right? There's the people who like the comfort and don't really want to excel or be known, right? And then there's the other people who say, I want that, and then they go for it, right? So I figured out that I wanted to go to the 11th floor, and I figured, okay, so if this company gives free college lessons and you can go to college for free and they'll pay for it, I'm going so that I can get up to the 11th floor. Well, I worked
Wow.
with one of my aunts at the time, and she said, why would you want to go to the 11th floor? They're all snobs. So I was like, wow, that was kind of a bummer for me because I thought, well, maybe they need to be like that. Maybe they, and until I didn't even know this at the time, everybody carries a different vibration, right?
Right.
Vibration for wealth, there's a vibration for health, there's a vibration for everything, right? So it made me realize that if I hung around with the same people that I was hanging around with, I could never get to that level. I could never hang out and have a cup of Starbucks every day that I seen that I never could afford, right? And I thought, wow, now I could actually afford a cup of Starbucks if I go up to the 11th floor, right? So it really changed my way of thinking of just being stagnant and just being a mom. If I wanted more, I had to do more. I had to learn,
Mm.
I had to go out and achieve it, right? So it really helped me in that pivot of that, of one, realizing that if I ever had to be by myself, and I think that was my biggest fear most of the time, is because I was an only child and I was by myself all the time, that how do I transition if I really needed to be by myself and really support myself, right? So that was my pivot. That was my pivot to really understanding you can have more if you truly want it.
Yeah, I want to say ding, 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 because solution number one, if you want more, you got to do more. Absolutely. Excuse me. See, it was like a powerful sentence. If you want to do more, if you want more, you got to do more. Fantastic. Keep going.
So after that, of course, it was interesting because now I understand it a little bit more. So once I realized what I wanted, right, things started to change in my life. And that's one of the things I think the biggest fear of people have is the fact that once you start to engulf what you truly want, everything around you starts to change, right?
Yeah, once you really step into it or speak to it or call to it or create that vibration like you talked about.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everything starts to change. So my relationships changed, everything changed, right? And at first I was like, what am I doing? Like it almost kind of brings you back into the reality check, right? Do you really want this? And that's a big question, is do you really want what you think that you want, right? Because things will change. And I believe that people are so afraid, and I think women are so afraid that of change because they don't realize that they could be more, they could have more. They don't have to just do and be stuck at where they're at. And that's my biggest thing, is I really wanted to touch women's hearts and let them know you don't have to be in the position you're at, but you have to ask yourself, do you really want change?
And it's beautiful that you speak to women. Of course, men apply also, but inspiring other individuals and in stepping forth and in showing people that there is something beyond their limitation, that isn't just physical limitations, because the mind has to get there first before the body can. You and I know that. And so breaking through those limiting beliefs in our minds help us get there in our reality or in everyday life. And so I can agree with you. The having a movie called Beyond Limitations is actually pretty powerful. And so tell us a little bit about becoming a director and becoming a storyteller to this magnitude, because I'm sure there's some people watching the show like, I could never do that. But you just shared, like, you decided and you made a decision that you wanted to get to a certain place in your life. And I'm sure you did that the same with movie making. Can you tell us a little bit about that story?
Yeah, it's so funny because most of my husband Don Boyer, who is my biggest mentor, right? He has helped me grow in so many ways, right? Again, I'm going to go back into that timid part of me, right? When I met Dawn 20 years ago, I was worked for corporate America, and I didn't. Again, I was stuck at what I really wanted to do, and he asked me one day, "Is this really what you like to do?" And I said, "No, I don't like working for somebody else, and I want to come home. I want to explore." Right? He says, "Well, pay attention to what you're saying because things will change again. If they changed for you before, they're going to change for you again." Right?
Great solution.
So, I thought, okay, do I really want to come home? Well, one, I was a single mom for 3 years, supporting my children. And I thought if I left my job, I'm going to lose um, medical benefits. I'm going to lose a paycheck every day. The fear just completely overcame me, right? I think I was like depressed for like 2 weeks after I actually did it. But there was signs in the corporate world which I really learned to pay attention to because they kept moving me around these different positions, right? And I thought, why do they keep doing that? But to me, it was like God kept tapping me to say, you're not supposed to be here. You need to do something bigger, right?
Right, right.
And I didn't pay attention. I think most people don't pay attention to that. Like, why is this happening to me, right? Why me? The whole pity party comes in, right? And I realized that, okay, if this is happening to me, maybe I am growing out of this, right? Maybe I do need to do more. So I ended up taking that leap of faith and saying, okay, fine, I'll just come home, I'll work with you, and the whole anger. And I mean, I think every emotion came out of me, right? And I was okay. I was like, okay, I just got to suck it up and things will work out. And I had no clue what the self-help industry was. I had never really been around speakers. I never really was around authors. So I didn't understand that whole industry, right? So it was a real learning curve for me. So for probably the last 15 years, and seriously, 15 years, I sat in the background, and Don would put me with him for everything. It's Don and Melinda, Don and Melinda, Don and Melinda. And I didn't understand why he did that. But now, today, I understand because just like my mom told me, you can have anything you want if you truly want it. And you have to really ask yourself that, right? So after 15 years, I realized, I kind of like this industry, right? But I had a real problem with myself. And the whole
Mm.
COVID thing was a real blessing for me because it allowed me to go into who I am and what I'm here to do. What am I here to do? I'm here to help change the consciousness of people's thinking.
Yeah, folks, if you missed it, she said that whole COVID thing was a blessing for me, just in case you didn't hear it.
Right? Because it really allowed me to be quiet and everything just kind of stopped, right? Because everything became still. So it allowed me to figure out who I really was and what I really wanted and who is Melinda and what is it that you want and why am I doing what I do, right? Why am I continuing to do this? And one of the biggest things was, why am I not stepping forward to be who I truly am and start speaking more
Mm.
rather than allowing my husband to do the speaking? So it really helped me to grow in a lot of different areas to say, you know what, maybe you do have a voice.
Right,
Maybe,
and it was incremental, right? Because you started asking yourself, "Why? Why don't I? Why shouldn't I? Why can't I? Why wouldn't I want to?" But it was baby steps, and I only can imagine you took little tiny baby steps because there are some definitely people listening like, "Well, I can't do that. I can't do what she's done." But I really want people to realize that it's little tiny incremental micro movements, micro progression, right? Would you agree? It's the little bit that gets you to the finish line.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, 20 years it took me to get where I am today. It wasn't just an overnight thing, or an overnight thing of all our movies. We've been doing movies since 2006. you know.
And some pretty amazing movies. Let's just talk about what's the movie that you did that we should tell everyone?
Well, we did Beyond the Secret, The Awakening, which was a huge 10 awards we got, and that's one of them that I got Best Women Director in Canada, actually. And I was really excited about it, and it really helped me to understand, again, who I was. And this movie came out January 2020. So this was right before the pandemic. So it was like perfect timing for me because it made me realize that, okay, this big movie just came out. We got these awards, right? But it allowed me, again, to be quiet, to realize what was just coming, right? Because that movie, again, it changed everything. It changed everything.
Mm. And I was standing with Melinda a few months ago in Los Angeles as she won another award for her recent film. And I'm going to be with her in a couple of weeks. February 10th, folks, we're going to be launching, and I just want to share Beyond Limitations. Melinda, tell us a little bit about the new movie that's coming out in February, just a tiny little bit.
Sure, Beyond Limitations. Actually, we're in the studio right now, so we're touching up some little things that need to be touched up and getting it all ready. But I'm really excited about Beyond Limitations, and this movie is so amazing. We're in the final stages, so I'm able to see all these exciting things that are going on. And Lady JB, you did such a fabulous job in everything that you did, and your whole bike story is just so amazing, and the footage that we got is just amazing. Because it really helps the people understand that, sometimes you got to just push, right? You got to push, and that there's some edits and film in there that you did where that you were really pushing yourself, your mind mentally, right? Because our mind holds us back.
What can people glean from your story and your movie and your journey in a way that they can move forward and ignite humanity?
Believe in yourself. You've got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that you can do it, and don't let somebody else tell you that you can't.
It's so true. I remember I was doing a big speech after Marianne Williamson at a conference, and I was a little nervous preparing for my speech. And my 8-year-old said, "Mom, what are you so nervous about?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm going to be speaking after this huge, world-renowned speaker, and I'm going to be the next person." And she's like, "Mom, you just got to believe in yourself." And it's so true. And if the little people in the world who are so much more dialed in can remind us adults that you just got to believe in yourself. I mean, it is absolutely so true. And so, any solution that you can give our listeners, because it's all about solution day today, what's your favorite solution when you're feeling like you can't do it?
My favorite solution is just stop for a minute, be quiet, and get all of the negative stuff that you're thinking out of your head, because that's what's holding us back.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. And so tell people how they can find out a little bit more about you. Is there a way that they can connect with and see some of the stuff that you're up to?
Absolutely. You can go to motivateenterprise.com. That's our company, and it has all our trailers and most of our movies on there where you can find them. Amazon Prime, there's Beyond the Secret, The Awakening on there. Beyond Limitations will be on there soon as well. The Power of Thought, Live Ready is on there as well, so you can see some of those movies. But you can always just look us up. We're on Facebook and everywhere else. We're always just a message away.
I know. And I really admire what you're doing because you are an inspiration to women. You're showing women that we can make films, we can tell stories. Melinda has also inspired me to be working on my documentary. And so that is the power of the ripple effect. So many people say to me that I don't know if I can do it. How can I ignite humanity? I just want to share that you can do it. You just show up, you be a leader, you do the very best you can, and then other people witness you and watch you doing it. And they're like, you know what? If she can do it, I can do it. And so, Melinda, thank you for being an inspiration to me and my film that's coming out. Any last words you'd like to leave our viewers? Because Beyond Limitations is going to be available for people to view. And you've got some new movies coming up, and you've got some new things on the roster, I'm sure. But just under the guise of igniting humanity, what do you think it's going to take for us to really move the needle on humanity?
You know, I think it's about holding each other's hand and believing in each other, and don't turn away. Just help them, just like you. If you need help, ask. That's all you got to do is ask.
Thank you so much. All right. Blessings to you, my darling. I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks. Give you a big hug in person. Take care.
Thank you.
Well, folks, as you can see, anything and everything is possible. I love to say that all the time, and it's just a joy to listen to other women who are making big impact on the planet. Melinda Boyer and her film with her husband, Don, will be coming out on February 10th. We'll be launching it in LA, and then you'll be able to catch it on Amazon Prime. And of course, just Google Melinda Boyer. You'll be seeing all the fun things that she does. Even go to Amazon and check her out. If you go in the search, it'll show some of the films that she's making. Igniting humanity is possible for all of us. And as Melinda shared, you can have limited thinking. You can think it's not possible until the very moment you realize it is. And all it is a change in thought. It's a change in belief. It's a change in what's going on inside of you to one day say, I can make it to the 11th floor. I can do that. I can try that. I can figure that out. And you just want to be a student of your own life. You want to be willing to do it and get there. And I always say you got to be it to become it. You can't just keep thinking about it. You got to take the steps to get there. And so we encourage each and every one of you, after you watch the show, please get up and decide, maybe hug somebody, smile, make an effort, put your hand out, and offer some support to somebody who might be needing it. And as Melinda said, stop and take a moment and just be quiet and realize what is really important to me. What do I really want to do? How can I really make a difference? And start doing that. Now, the first way you can make a difference is if you'd like to go to our charity and help support our schools. We are definitely building schools, and $1 buys a brick. And so I would just love to encourage you all, ignitehumanity.life/donate. You can literally go in there and leave $1, and it will help build a brick in our school. Wow, that's exciting. Let's see if we can do that again. Hello, Mr. Camera. I wonder why he decided to do that. Well, you get to see all me nice up and close. Okay, I'll move back if I can. That's never happened before. Wow. Okay, just a second. There we go. There's a little bit of what happens when you're doing live TV. And in addition to that, I just want you to think for a moment. If there's a child out there who really needs to know what's possible, and if you could make a difference in a student's life, or if you could help somebody, a young beautiful spirit, realize what's possible for them and awaken to what they can go beyond their limitations by learning and educating themselves in a school, please make an effort to reach out and make a small donation. Now, if you want to watch all of our replays, you can go to our website, ignitehumanity.life/watch. Everything is free and available. And folks, we make it free to you. There is nothing we ask you to pay for. We just want you to watch the recordings and be inspired, because one day you could be on the show. So if you've got a great story and you're igniting humanity in some way, reach out to us by email and let us know at ignitehumanity.life/share, and tell us a little bit about what you're up to, or somebody you know what they're doing, because we would love to have them on the show, share their Ignite moment, tell people what they're doing to ignite humanity and make a massive difference. Well, big blessings to everybody. When you ignite yourself, you ignite others, and that's going to ignite humanity. All right, take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and all of our futures.